What's up, everybody? It's Dave Drakes with the Collective Experience, and we are back for another TCE Foul Plugs Moto Show. With me is a newcomer to the show. We never have her on, but I'm super glad we do this week. It's Kylie Kulpa. What's up, Kylie? How are you?
Hi, Jake. How are you?
Doing awesome. I'm excited to get you on. Finally ran into you again at Southwick this past weekend, which we will talk about. But yeah, how's everything going? Like, how was the race for you? What's been going on this season? I know you get into some racing. You're like one of the coolest photographers on the scene right now in the moto industry in New England. All your photos have been blowing up. Like, what's been going on?
I don't know. This year I've just taken off. I'm working with NY Off Road as
Nice,
one of their photographers this year. I go to a lot of the J Days and photograph those.
awesome.
And
Love the
then
J
I
Days.
race myself, so I go to
Yeah.
those too.
Love it. Yeah, you've been riding for a super long time. Like, obviously AJ's a big partner of the show, and he's always talking about like three people that are really good with their riding technique. You are obviously one of them. The next one is Aiden, and another one is this one kid, Travis Schneider, who is like the coolest little kid I've ever met. But like, you come up in conversation all the time when it comes to like proper technique, which makes me extremely jealous because I have the complete opposite. I have the world's worst technique in a dirt bike. So yeah, I might need some pointers
Oh
eventually.
yeah, I can give you some.
Okay, cool. Like I said, we had Southwick this weekend. It's a great race, obviously for myself and for you. We're New England locals. Grew up around that scene. So anytime we go back to New England and do some pro racing, it's always a good time. What was your impression of the race overall? I know like we had some like pretty big crowds there. Awesome racing. It was super hot. What was your impression of the event?
Oh yeah, it was definitely super hot. I don't think it was as hot as recent years though. I've like gone out there like dripping
Yeah,
wet.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but I thought it was really fun. The crowd always makes it really good there.
yeah.
And always seeing everyone just on like one of the hardest tracks is so fun to watch.
It really is. And the crazy part is that they make it look kind of easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like watching Sexton and all these guys, they make it look so freaking easy. And like when I'm out there, half the things that they do with ease, like literally just going up one of the hills, it takes so much out of you. They make it look like it's nothing. Like it's just a hard packed track.
Oh yeah. It's it's crazy there.
Yeah. Do you like riding Southwick yourself? Are you pretty good in the sand?
I've only ridden Southwick once, and that was when I started
Once?
riding. Yeah.
Really? Why only once?
I don't know. I've just gone to Winchester so much, and then for like
Gotcha.
practices, we go to like NHMX, which is also some sand.
Gotcha.
And near me, we have MX23 and 508.
Gotcha. Actually, I love Winchester. It's one of my favorite places. I think your dad and myself were talking a little bit this weekend about just how easy they make it to come race and just have fun. It's great. I have never been to 508, but it looks absolutely familiar, fabulous. I'd love to go there. And any NHMX, which used to be Jolly, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Love that place. They have the best Moto muffin breakfast sandwiches of all time. Like they're so freaking good. Love that place. It's such a good track. Um, Diverting the conversation back to Southwick, we saw Jet go 1-1 this weekend. Not a huge surprise to a lot of people, but holy crap, it's way different than the way that he rode last year. And the cool thing about Jet is, which I want to get your input on this, is that he's a young kid, but he's extremely consistent. It's very rare to see a young dude like him who's talented, tons of aggression, that can go 1-1 and can get overalls week in and week out. What's your impression of Jet? Like what makes him different compared to all the other riders that he's racing against? Because I mean, compared to like a Justin Cooper and stuff like that, dude, he's young. He's kind of like, I mean, he's a reigning champion, obviously, but he's still like got a lot of that like young guy energy, but it doesn't look like that on the track. What's your thoughts on that?
I I just think he's insane. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
Seeing him so young, one of the youngest ones on the track,
yeah,
and starting being his second year and his first year, he won a whole championship. It's crazy.
yeah. I don't know what it is over in Australia. It must be the water. I don't know if it's like a family thing, but they are also sick. I love watching the kid ride. He looks awesome on the Honda. And there's one clip I think that Racer X posted up, and he was coming down past the finish line around that sweeper, that downhill left-hand sweeper, and he was literally like carrying maybe like 3, 4, 5 miles an hour faster than people behind him, but he was also kind of hopping and skipping through the bumps and making it super smooth for himself, where everyone else was just really like just taking every single braking bump like straight to the forearms, and it looked brutal. It looked like it was just a nightmare. The dude is super smooth, super calm, collected. Do you think Jet's going to go down as like one of the greats in the sport?
I think so. I think we're watching history happen in front of us, and I think it's crazy to see.
That's okay. That's Kylie said it, so that's big. It's going to happen. Do you think that he ends up like eclipsing somebody like a Ken Roxon or like a Ryan Villapoto type rider? Like, do you think he's like bigger than, or he will be bigger than them?
I feel like that's already so much in history that you can't really like top it, but
Gotcha.
it's just like him being there and achieving the things he already has is crazy, because these guys haven't done that.
Yeah.
And it's new to the history, but it's really cool to see it happen.
Gotcha.
And it's going to all stack up and be really cool.
I think so too. I definitely agree with that. So like we talked about, Southwick's kind of like a huge, piece of like the New England Moto Society, the community, the culture, however you want to say it. It's the only sand track. I mean, you can argue that Millville has some sand sections, but whatever. But it's the only sand track that we have on our circuit. It's unique in the way that it has like a really hard base, fluffy stuff on top, tons of elevation change, undulation in the course. It's crazy. Do you think Southwick is the best pro national? And if not, which one is?
I think it is. It's crazy because I think when all the pro riders go there, they say it's like one of the hardest tracks. And I think it's awesome just watching them and them say that, because you watch them and it does not look like they're having any hard time at all.
I know it's crazy watching those guys go through just a few of the turns too. Like the track develops so much differently. Like when you and I ride it for like an NESC or NEMX or whatever, local New England organizations, there's so many braking bumps that develop like through the corners, up the faces of every single jump. But when the pros ride it, they are on the gas so much that a lot of the rough sections don't end up being rough. You know what I mean? Like the corners end up being just super smooth. Some of these jump faces end up being really smooth because they're on the gas the whole time. They're not chopping the throttle at all. I will say that coming into some of the corners though, like the braking bumps get way bigger than local races because they're braking harder and going way faster. But I honestly, I have to say it's probably top two for me, Southwick. I like Redbud. It's just a really cool facility, a really cool race. It's usually 4th of July, like kind of like a historic moto venue. But Southwick's up there. There's nothing like it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
One of the cool parts about Southwick also is that we've got locals that show up and do really, really well. This past weekend, we've had Chris Canning, Larry Fortin, we had Chris Corey, and just a host of other riders. Normally, I think we're used to seeing a local guy run like top 5 for a long time, maybe get pushed back to a top 10. I don't think we're seeing that as much in the past couple of years. And I wanted to get your opinion. Why do you think we don't see as many Southwick locals like doing like just outrageously good like we did in the past, maybe like 5 to 10 years ago?
I was watching a lot of the local riders ride and stuff, and I saw a lot of them. I feel like they just kept messing up and something would happen. And then it just kept going downhill from there. And I feel like they're too confident to the point they're not confident enough when they're out there, and they get a little scared and they back off in the recent years because of the new guys who've come in, and obviously people have gotten faster and here and there.
Totally get it. I mean, I think like you mentioned it a little bit, guys have gotten faster. I think setups have gotten a little bit better too. So that definitely could be it. Like suspension settings, maybe bikes are just a lot easier to get to work very well at Southwick, where like the locals, they know the lines. I said we, like I'm fast. They know the lines, they know the bike setup, like they're prepared for it. And like I just remember like being like a kid, like when I was on 85s, like watching guys like Tony LaRusso just lay waste to like all the national guys, you know what I mean? And like John Dowd and Robbie Marshall, all like Billy Ainsworth, all these super fast guys just crushing it. And you don't really see that at any other track. I think it's a testament to how gnarly Southwick is. And when you get it, you really get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's something like you need to know how to ride sand, and you need a technique for it and to like scope it out and everything because it's so tough.
Yeah, it kicks my butt. One person that did not seem to have a tough time was Ryan Dungey. You had some amazing shots of Ryan this past weekend. I'm amazed. I don't know why the heck Dungey retired. The dude is fighting for podiums. He was literally holding off Tomac for a while, past Ken Roxon, and this like I know he's not sitting on the couch this whole time, but he's been out of like the pro scene for a little bit. Like, how freaking amazing is that? Is that just Dungey, or is it just like the guy just works super hard? Like, what's the formula? Because I want that. I want to be able to do that. Like, what is it that makes him so good?
I have no clue. Like from the last time I saw him was the Red Bull Straight Rhythm in person in 2018. And then seeing him now, it's crazy. Like he looks the same. Obviously it was a different track too, but it's crazy that when you're off for that long and then you come back, you're still fighting with the top guys and that you're training still to that level and you haven't like fallen down any bit. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, and like he's he's older too, you know what I mean? He's got kids and the wife and stuff like that. And the fact that he's so mentally strong, so fit, and he's just like a world-class talent. Dude, that is such a deadly combination, man. Like he literally could race for another 10 years, and I guarantee you the worst place he'll do is like a 10. You know what I mean? Like the dude, he's so good. I love the fact that he's back. I love when like you get more parity in the races, and it's so cool to see. I hope he comes back for like, I hope he does the whole series, number one. I hope he comes back next year and like tries to really seriously like get into it, because like, dude, it's been great. It's been so awesome watching him ride. Cairoli came back, and all we need is Stu and Reed, and we'll have the trifecta. Is that wishful thinking? Is that like, I'm daydreaming right now, obviously, but
maybe a little.
Yeah, definitely. One person who had a dream ride, trying to do a nice segue, is Eli Tomac. Dude went 1-1, and he obliterated the track. The way that I mentioned that Jet Lawrence wrote earlier, where he was kind of jumping through the bumps and conserving energy, doubling when he could, and really making everything look smooth. Tomac did not give a crap. He was just wide open. He would bulldog through all those rough sections, tire tap, wheelie, throw the bike down. And he did that for 30 minutes straight and looked just out of this world fast. Like there was one section, I was kind of up back in kind of like on top of the hill, and he was literally jumping into a corner, leg out, wide open, rail on the outside. I'm like, that is one section that I literally will fall just walking up it. And this dude is like getting super steezy the whole way through. It was incredible. Like, do you think Tomac is going to be our championship winner by the end of the series?
Oh yeah, definitely. He's already gone 5 races in a row going 1-1.
Yeah, it's going to be an issue. I definitely agree. I think I'd like to see Sexton mix it up more, and he's got the red plate, so that's super cool. But Tomac's he's hard to beat, and these tracks are getting rougher and rougher, and like
he does really good in that.
He does that, and which is crazy. I don't know how you can sustain that for that long, but he does. And one thing that I noticed too was obviously this is his first year on the Yamaha. He looks great on the Yamaha. Like his bike handles better this year in its first year with him than his Cowie did in like the handful of years that he was with them. So I think the more that he gets used to this bike and the more confidence he gets, the more fun he starts to have, which looks like he's having a freaking blast. Why wouldn't you when you're winning and making $100,000 and all that stuff? He's just going to get more and more harder to beat, and I hope these guys are ready. Like I really do.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. He's just going to be putting the hammer down every race.
God, if I had like 1/10 of that talent, if I had just like this much electromagnetic talent. We wouldn't be talking right now. I would be out somewhere training and like probably sending you a text of like, dude, I am going so fast. You should have seen this scrub. You know what I mean? Like that would be the dream.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking of dream, it is a lot of people's dream to kind of to have a job in the industry, to excel in the sport that we all love. And thanks to the collective experience, we are able to help out fans do just that. They're able to go behind the scenes, work with their favorite riders, work with their favorite teams in a wide array of different avenues, such as mechanic help, photography, like the lovely Miss Kylie does, team management, content creation, a whole deal. Check out the collectivexp.com. Get involved, get your career started in the sport. We help people get hired all the time. 80% of our interns that come through get hired automatically into the sport the following week. And I'm not exaggerating. I promise you that's how it happens. And we want to make that happen for you. The collectivexp.com, at the collective.ex Instagram. Kylie, for people that want to get involved in the sport, that want to be a photographer like you, that want to do, big productions and really be a leader in the photography realm when it comes to the sport, what is some advice that you can give to them? Obviously, I know your aspirations are high. You still want to get to much bigger spots than you are, but you've got a pretty decent following. A lot of people know of you. You're working with some pretty big organizations. What are some tips you can give to somebody who is looking to kind of follow in your footsteps?
I really think I started out riding and racing before I started taking pictures. So I started to know a lot of people in the community racing around me, racing with me. So I think that really helped out a lot, just to get to know everyone. You just want to have a connection, and then things can just move forward from there. And then you just keep working hard and progressing at what you're doing. Get tips from other people, or like feedback on your images, and see how it goes.
Okay, you mentioned tips. What is one tip that you can give to somebody in helping them set up for the perfect shot? Because I struggle all the time. Yours seem like it come out perfectly on the first try. What is some advice that you can give to us on like setting up the perfect shot for a moto race?
So usually I watch all the riders and all the jumps and see what they are doing. So then I will usually a lot of the straightaways, you want to get low to the dirt, and the jumps, you either want to get them, like if they're scrubbing, probably behind the jump. They're jumping it pretty high, either from the side or the front. It's really just about your surroundings, and you kind of have to just play with it and see what looks best. But getting low is usually your best bet.
Gotcha. You make it sound super easy. I'm going to try that. I'll let you know how it goes. Getting low, scoping out the area beforehand, seeing who's doing what. I like it. I'm going to try that. We're going to move on to some of our guest favorite segment, and that is our coveted drip check. So drip check, Kylie, since you're new, is a time where we kind of go through and talk about who we thought had the coolest kit, the drippiest kit, the swaggiest kit, however you want to say it, of the weekend. Obviously, with Southwick comes kind of like, the more vented looks to keep them cooler. It's New England. It's muggy in the summertime. Plus, you're getting your butt kicked in sand the whole time. It's super, super grueling. Who do you think had the coolest, in the way that they looked, coolest kit out of the entire weekend?
Hands down, Roxon.
Oh, you picked mine. Yeah. Okay. Cool. We're in the same wavelength.
Even though it was black in the heat, it was still cool.
You know what I thought was super cool was his gear paired with the helmet that he wore this past weekend. It looked awesome. Not to mention the dude's rocking a mullet, and as a guy with long hair, I appreciate that. It's super rock and roll. I can dig it. But yeah, I mean, Roxon in that Fox gear looked super, super cool. I love the fact that he's like, wasn't afraid to wear the black, like you said. He's okay with like pairing like, a cool wacky design in the back, and the guy's just got style. Like he's just swaggy. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah. And if you guys want to look swaggy, check out our promo code below to get 30% off FXR Moto gear. They are a huge supporter of the collective experience. We appreciate everything that they do for us year in, year out. Check them out. They've got some amazing stuff. My favorite is, of course, the Revo. It's super breathable, super stretchy for my thick girl thighs, and it keeps me looking good. I mean, if I can't go fast, I at least want to look good. Check it out below. Get hooked up with fxrracing.com. Kylie, the last segment of our show is our power rankings. And this is where we talk about our top 3 for this upcoming race. We're going to be in Millville this next weekend. I love that track. You got the sand whoops. You got some pretty big uphills, which TV don't do them justice. And you got the whoop monster, always a fan favorite. Give me who you think is going to be the top 3 in the 450 class this weekend.
Looking at who's been doing good recently, I don't know the order, but the 3 that I think, Tomac,
Gotcha.
Anderson, Chase Sexton.
Ooh, okay. I like it. So mine is pretty much identical, but I'm going to say I think Tomac's going to get the overall. I think Jason Anderson's going to want redemption from last weekend at Southwick, where he went down in the first turn. He's going to ride with the fire under his ass, and he's going to want redemption. So for sure, he's going to be second. Chase Sexton in third. I love Sexton. I think the dude is super fast. Love watching him ride, almost near perfect style. But he continues to make these little mental faux pas, which means he goes down in the dirt, and he's not able to have the consistency that it takes to really be a overall winner. I think he can do it. I just think he needs to work on those, and he'll nail it down. So do you have it? Power rankings. Kylie, I appreciate the time. I thank you for being our guest. We definitely want to have you on again. For everyone that wants to, check out and follow along with what you're doing, with what you have going on, with what you're doing, photography, riding, where can they find you? Where can they follow you?
They can find me on Instagram or Facebook under 18 photos, and it's 18 spelled out.
Awesome. So give her a follow. She's got some amazing things. We're going to be highlighting a lot of her work in the next couple of weeks, next couple of days. Definitely check her out, and you might see her hopping around the pits and the pros. Mark my words, she'll be there. As always, we want to say thank you to FXR Racing, Flow Vision Goggles, Overshear Advice and Planning, Evans Power Coolant, and of course, Intake Breathing Systems. Check out our sponsor logos or sponsor discounts below. Check them out. Check out Kylie. We're going to link her below as well. And guys, be sure to hit the subscribe button, give us a like, leave us a comment. Who do you think had the coolest kit? Who had the drippiest setup? Who's your power rankings for next week? Send some questions in for Kylie. Maybe we can get them over to her to answer when the next time she's on. And we're gonna leave it in your hands. Leave it in your hands. Leave the comments. Kylie, it was fun. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we will talk again soon.
Thank you for having me on.
Always. Take care, guys.